There is a tax you never voted for, and it's currently draining your bank account while you sleep. In 2026, earning a six-figure salary is no longer the finish line. For many, it's a trap. While you're working harder for that next raise, a silent tax is ensuring that your money never truly stays in your pocket. It's the reason you feel broke despite making more than ever. Today, we are exposing the 5 insidious habits quietly keeping you trapped in the middle class and the hidden economic forces the wealthy use to opt out of the system. If you don't change these 5 things by the end of this year, you aren't just stagnating, you're falling behind. Let's get into the blueprint the middle class is being tricked into ignoring. If you've ever looked at your bank account after a raise and wondered why you don't feel any wealthier, you are experiencing the silent tax. For decades, the middle-class dream was built on a simple formula: work hard, get promoted, and save what's left. But in 2026, that formula is broken. The gap between the upper class and the middle class isn't just widening because the rich are getting richer. It's widening because the middle class is being tricked into spending their future to maintain a present-day illusion. The first habit we must address is the bracket creep trap. In 2026, this has become a major wealth killer. Imagine you've had a great year at work and you're awarded a 5% raise. On paper, you're celebrating. But here's what's happening behind the scenes. As your nominal income rises to try and keep up with the cost of living, you are being pushed into a higher tax bracket. Because tax thresholds in many regions haven't been adjusted to match the aggressive inflation of the last few years, a larger percentage of your total income is now being siphoned off. You are earning more, but your real take-home pay, what that money can actually buy at the grocery store or for your mortgage, has actually decreased. You are running faster just to stay in the same place. The wealthy don't fall for this because they don't rely solely on taxable income. To break this trap, you must become aggressive about tax-advantaged accounts. Whether it's a 401k, an IRA, an HSA, or international equivalents like ISAs, these are not just savings accounts, they are shields. Every dollar you put into a traditional retirement account lowers your taxable income for the year. This can effectively keep you in a lower tax bracket, saving you thousands in taxes while simultaneously building your wealth. In 2026, tax planning isn't just for the ultra-rich, it is a survival skill for the middle class. The second habit is the aesthetification of everything. We live in an era where social media has turned daily life into a performance. In 2026, the aesthetic isn't just a trend, it's a requirement for social belonging. We see it everywhere. The $50 designer water bottles, the $200 minimalist sneakers, and the thousands spent on color-coordinated home offices that look like magazine spreads. The middle class is being marketed a version of wealth that is purely visual. You are being sold the props of a successful life, but these props have a high price tag and zero return on investment. Think about the psychology here. When you buy a luxury item to signal status, you are essentially paying a status tax. Meanwhile, the truly wealthy are practicing invisible wealth. They understand that a $30,000 investment in a diversified index fund is vastly more powerful than a $30,000 upgrade to a kitchen that already works. True wealth is the ability to walk away from a job you hate or to travel for 6 months without checking your bank balance. It is not the ability to show off a specific brand of coffee maker on your Instagram story. To break this cycle, you must audit your spending with one question. Am I buying this for the utility or for the audience? If the answer is the audience, put the money back. Redirect that aesthetic budget into a brokerage account. In 10 years, no one will remember your color-coded pantry, but your bank account will certainly remember the compound interest. Third, we have to talk about the surge of frictionless micro-transactions. This is the death by 1,000 cuts that has accelerated in 2026. With AI-integrated shopping and one-click purchasing built into every app, the friction between wanting and owning has been completely removed. It isn't the big $500 car payment that is preventing you from reaching your first $100,000 in net worth. It is the $3 Pro app upgrades, the $10 instant delivery fees, the 5 different streaming services you haven't opened in a month, and the recurring cloud storage fees for photos you never look at. Each of these seems insignificant, hardly worth the time it takes to cancel them. But collectively, they represent a massive leak in your financial boat. In 2026, the average household spends nearly $100 a month just on digital subscriptions and micro fees. Over 30 years, if that $100 were invested at an 8% return, it would grow to over $140,000. You are literally trading a comfortable retirement for the convenience of not having to type in your credit card number. The fix is a manual friction strategy. Implement a 24-hour rule for any digital purchase. If you still want it tomorrow, buy it. But 9 times out of 10, the impulse will pass. Reclaiming your microtransactions is how you build the seed money for your real investments. Fourth is a relatively new and dangerous habit, the two-pot liquidity hangover. As economic pressures have increased, many governments and pension providers have started allowing people to tap into their retirement funds early for emergencies. While this sounds like a helpful safety net, it is a catastrophic trap for the middle class. By accessing your retirement pot today, you are treating your future self as a high-interest credit card. Taking $10,000 out of your retirement fund at age 30 doesn't just cost you $10,000. It costs you the potential growth of that money over the next 30 or 40 years. In a standard market, that $10,000 could have grown to over $150,000 by the time you actually need it. When you raid your future to pay for your present, you aren't just losing money, you are losing time, and time is the only ingredient in wealth that you can't get more of. The only way to survive this is to build a fortress emergency fund. You need 3 to 6 months of expenses in a high-yield savings account that is completely separate from your investments. This fund is your financial insurance. It ensures that when life happens, and it will, you don't have to destroy your 65-year-old self's dignity to pay for a new transmission today. Finally, we have the habit of ignoring upkeep inflation, often called the BMW effect. In the middle class, we are trained to look at the entry price of an item. Can I afford the monthly payment on this house? Can I afford the lease on this car? But the silent tax is found in the maintenance. A larger house isn't just a higher mortgage, it is higher property taxes, higher energy bills to heat and cool the extra space, and more expensive repairs when the roof eventually leaks. A luxury car isn't just a status symbol. It requires premium fuel, specialized parts, and insurance premiums that are double or triple that of a standard vehicle. This is where lifestyle creep turns into a trap. As your income goes up, you buy nicer things, but those nicer things demand a higher percentage of your time and money just to keep them running. You end up working more hours just to pay for the car that gets you to work. To break this, adopt the buy it twice rule. If you can't afford to buy the item twice in cash up front, then you cannot afford the lifestyle that comes with it. The wealthy don't buy things they can afford the payment on. They buy things they can own outright without it impacting their cash flow. Prioritize assets that require low maintenance and provide high utility. The silent tax isn't just a theory. It is the reality of the 2026 economy. The world is designed to keep you spending, keep you comparing, and keep you working. But once you see these 5 habits for what they are, traps designed to keep you in the middle class, you gain the power to opt out. Wealth isn't about how much you make, it's about how much you keep and how hard that money works for you. It's time to stop being a consumer and start being an owner. Audit your taxes, ignore the aesthetic, cut the microtransactions, protect your retirement, and simplify your upkeep. If you do these 5 things, you won't just survive in 2026, you will thrive while everyone else is wondering where their money went. Wealth in the modern age isn't a mystery, it's a series of intentional choices made daily. Most people will watch this video and go right back to their old habits, wondering why their bank account stays flat. But you now have the blueprint. The transition from middle class to truly wealthy starts the moment you stop paying the silent tax and start investing in yourself. If this deep dive into the 2026 economy was helpful, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more strategies on how to beat the system and build real wealth. Let us know in the comments. Which of these 5 habits has been the hardest for you to break? Let's start the conversation and build a community of people who refuse to stay in the middle class. Thanks for watching, and we'll see